Hello everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today is the year 2026. A month is July. The day is the 17th, and it is a wonderful Friday. I am your host Nino, broadcasting from my native corner of the internet, and today I am introducing a trending article from the archives. Before we start, I tried to tune my coffee maker this morning, but it just gave me a dark roast instead of a C major. I suppose only the baristas get that one. Anyway, moving on. Today we are diving deep into a really fascinating paper about music theory and artificial intelligence. The title is A Prediction to Collaboration Interactive Symbolic Music Analysis. The quote is Cheats. Orc record 26 or 7.13,500 is involved. It is long, so let us get right into the heart of this research and really unpack what these brilliant minds from Johannes Kepler University and Anton Bruckner University have put together. The core problem of this paper is trying to solve revolves around something called numeral analysis, which is a standardized way that musicians and theorists describe chords and harmonic functions relative to a local key. If you have ever taken music theory class, you know that figuring out whether a chord is a dominant seventh or a subdominant can be quite the headache, because harmonic labels are highly context-dependent, and they happens across multiple musical layers. Now, automatic systems for this kind of analysis have made a lot of progress recently, but there's a huge catch. Most existing artificial intelligence models are designed simply to look at a full piece of sheet music, and then just spit out the final predicted score all at once. Now, this is what we call a one-shot full score predictor, which sounds great in theory, but it completely ignores how actual human analysts work. In the real world, musicologists do not just magically guess the whole piece instantly. They iteratively inspect confusing passages, they correct local mistakes, and they complete missing labels from a partial context. Therefore, there is a massive gap between these strong benchmark artificial intelligence models and the actual tools that can support an interactive workflow where the human is kept in the loop. To bridge this gap, the researchers created a unified framework that combines two powerful technologies, and I find this part incredibly interesting. First, they use pretrained symbolic encoders like MusicBERT, which basically acts like a massive language model but for reading music instead of text, giving the system a very rich understanding of a broad musical context. Second, they use something called a graph neural network, which treats the musical notes like a web of connected points, modeling the explicit structural relationships and functional dependencies across different musical events. By mashing these two together into a hybrid backbone, they created a prediction engine that can handle blind full score analysis. But more importantly, it can handle partial label completion and interactive revision. Let us compare this with older technologies. Older neural networks would just take a sequence of notes and try to guess the harmony left to right, often getting confused by complex overlapping melodies, or completely losing the plot if the human wanted to step in and change one chord. If a human corrected a chord in the old systems, the system would not know how to recalculate the rest of the piece based on that new constraint. But with this new hybrid model, they compute the really expensive pretrained representations just once, and then reuse them during the iterative refinement process. This means this software responds almost instantly when you make a change, making it highly practical for a collaborative setting. They evaluated this on a massive new benchmark dataset called Duomo data, and the results showed that it provides incredibly accurate baseline predictions, while seamlessly allowing users to lock in certain chords and asking the machine to fill in the blanks around them. The performance actually improves monotonally as more contextual labels are provided, meaning the more hints you give the artificial intelligence, the smarter it gets. Now, how could this amazing technology be applied to our everyday lives? I can think of at least 3 specific application examples that could revolutionize the way we interact with music. First, let us talk about music education and interactive tutoring. Imagine a university student struggling through their weekly music theory homework, trying to figure out the harmony of a complex Bach chorale. instead of just looking up the answer key and learning nothing. You could use an application powered by this technology. The student could input the chords they are confident about, and the artificial intelligence would treat those as hard constraints, gently suggesting the most logical surrounding chords. For pointing out if the student made a contradiction, this creates a collaborative learning environment, where the machine guides the student step by step, rather than just handing them the completed assignment. Second, this technology could completely transform digital audio workstations and composition software. Many modern songwriters and producers have great melodic ideas, but maybe they lack the formal theoretical training to harmonize those melodies perfectly. With this interactive analysis tool integrated as a plugin, the producer could highlight a specific bass line or vocal melody and ask the software to generate Roman numeral harmonic structures that fit. If the producer decides they want a specific measure to have a darker, finer feel, they could manually edit that one chord, and the graph neural network will instantly calculate all the surrounding transitional chords, ensuring the whole progression sounds musically coherent and natural. This bridges the gap between pure creative intuition and complex musical theory. Third, this has massive implications for historical musicology and digital art jargon. There are thousands upon thousands of classical AS sitting in archives, which have never been fully analyzed for their harmonic content. Try to have humans manually annotate all of these would take lifetimes, but purely automated systems make too many weird errors that ruin the data. Using this collaborative framework, a single musicologist could process dozens of scores a day. The artificial intelligence would do the heavy lifting of the initial full score prediction, and the human expert would just scan through, finding the tricky ambiguous passages and making local corrections. Because the artificial intelligence immediately learns from these localized edits, the final output data will be incredibly pristine, preserving our global musical heritage faster and more accurately than ever before. Oh, and the researchers even built a prototype interface using something called Verovio, which allows you to click on a single note and instantly see the top candidates for that exact spot. Whether you are looking at the note level, the beat level, or the whole measure, it recolors the predictions in green if they agree and red if they contradict your choices. It is just fascinating how they took a raw machine learning prediction problem and turned it into a genuinely collaborative canvas. Now, that is all the time I have for today. I hope you found this deep dive into interactive symbolic music analysis as mind-blowing as I did. And maybe it will inspire you to look at your favorite songs a little differently.